Moving on, we have a paper 2 question now. It says, figure 4.1 is a simplified diagram of a nephron. Some parts are already labeled in the diagram: blood in, blood out, direction of blood flow, and the glomerulus. Structure P is Bowman's capsule. We can note this for our own reference as it will help in answering further questions. Structure R is the collecting duct, with fluid S coming out of it, and structure Q is the loop of Henle. Now, the first part asks, identify each of the structures labeled P, Q, and R in figure 4.1. So, we will simply write, P is Bowman's capsule, Q is the loop of Henle, and R is the collecting duct. Next, now this part asks us to name the organ which contains many nephrons. So, we will write the organ containing many nephrons is the kidney. Next, part asks us to name the organ that stores fluid S before it is released from the body. So we will write, the organ that stores fluid S is the urinary bladder. Now, in part B, we have a table. Table 4.1 shows the composition of a sample of fluid S from a healthy person. The person providing the sample eats a balanced diet. As we can see from table 4.1, the components of fluid S are glucose, protein, ions, and urea, with their concentrations being 0 for glucose and protein, 1.5 for ions, and 2.0 for urea. Now, the first part of this question asks us to state why it is important that urea is removed from the blood in fluid S. So, the answer is that urea must be removed from the blood because it is toxic. If urea is not removed, it can accumulate in the body and cause harm. Next, the question asks us, use your knowledge of the function of a nephron to explain the concentration of each of the following components of fluid S, and this one is an extensive question. So, first, for glucose, we can write, glucose enters Bowman's capsule when it is filtered from the blood into the nephron. However, all of the glucose is then reabsorbed back into the blood, so none remains in fluid S. Next, for protein, we can write, protein does not enter Bowman's capsule and is not filtered from the blood because protein molecules are too large to pass through the filtration membrane. Therefore, no protein is found in fluid S. Next, the question asks us to explain what would happen to the concentration of ions in fluid S if the person drank a large volume of water several hours before the sample was collected. So here, we will write, if the person drank a large volume of water several hours before the sample was collected, the concentration of ions in fluid S would decrease because more water would be excreted in the urine. This helps to maintain homeostasis by keeping the concentration of water in the blood constant.